Let's walk on the wise path.
Imagine living your life with a sense of clarity, where every challenge, every doubt, every fear that pops into your mind is simply part of a larger, hidden design. What if you discovered that there was a map guiding you toward a state of higher consciousness, a path to unlocking powers lying dormant within you? This isn't some outlandish fantasy or a distant dream. It's an age-old truth concealed in one of the most mysterious books of all time, the Book of Revelation. For centuries, people have read Revelation and seen only visions of doom and destruction. But there's a different way to interpret it, one that flips the whole meaning on its head. Instead of a terrifying prophecy of an end, Revelation can be seen as a guide to personal transformation. What if, rather than predicting the world's destruction, it was a code revealing the journey to enlightenment, breaking down the walls of our ego and revealing our truest essence? What if the beasts and battles weren't just about external enemies, but were symbolic of the conflicts within each of us, the ones that keep us from reaching our potential? As you journey with me through this, you'll discover that Revelation is more than just a story. It's a manual for tapping into a consciousness that defies the boundaries of fear, ego, and limitation. This isn't about looking outward for a savior. It's about diving inward to awaken the divine spark that's always been within. Are you ready to unravel these mysteries and explore the depths of your own soul? Revelation may be a map, but it's a map to a journey you've been on all along. Let's begin. Let's start by shedding light on the layers hidden within the Book of Revelation. For centuries, this book has been a puzzle, and many view it as a terrifying prophecy of the end times, filled with grim symbols, strange numbers, and cryptic imagery. But there's more here than meets the eye. Imagine Revelation as a deep, ancient well. At the surface, it looks like a warning, a story of impending catastrophe. But as you dive deeper, you realize it's a guide to something far more personal, a transformative journey from fear to enlightenment. Rather than fearing external threats, Revelation invites us to confront the internal enemies we face each day. Think of it like this: each beast, each battle, each apocalyptic symbol represents aspects of ourselves, the doubts, the fears, the parts of our psyche we'd rather keep hidden. Take the idea of the end of days. Instead of a literal end of the world, it can be interpreted as the end of our limited, ego-driven selves. It's not about fire and brimstone. It's about the inner fire, a cleansing, a burning away of the barriers we've built around ourselves. We all carry layers, some conscious, others hidden deep within. Revelation provides a path through these layers, symbolizing the shedding of ego, the confronting of fears, and the rising to a higher level of consciousness. Think of it as a blueprint for inner awakening. The more we peel away these layers, the closer we get to our truest, most authentic selves. Revelation isn't a call to look out for some cosmic disaster. It's a call to look inward, to uncover the strength, wisdom, and peace that lie at the core of who we are. One of the most chilling symbols in Revelation is the beast. For centuries, people have tried to identify what it means, often seeing it as a literal demonic figure that exists outside of us, threatening humanity. But what if the beast wasn't something external at all? Imagine instead that this beast is part of us, a reflection of our own lower mind, the side that whispers in our ears, amplifying our fears, insecurities, and doubts. It's the voice that says, "You're not enough," or "This will never work." This isn't a monster lurking in the shadows. It's the inner critic that resides in all of us. Think of the beast as your inner saboteur. It's the part of you that holds you back, that makes you doubt yourself, that fills your mind with what-if scenarios, drowning you in fear of the unknown. This beast is essentially the ego, the part of us that clings to security and comfort, and that resists change. But here's the key: by identifying and understanding this beast, by recognizing it as a symbol of our lower selves, we can begin to transcend it. And then there's the infamous number, 666. Traditionally, this has been interpreted as the number of the beast, something to fear and avoid. But what if this number represents our own carnal mind? The 666 can be seen as a symbol of the ego-driven self, trapped in fear, doubt, and limitation. Far from being a curse, it's a reminder of the parts of ourselves that need healing and transformation. Revelation calls us to face the beast, to recognize it as an aspect of ourselves, and to overcome it. In contrast, we have the number 144,000, a symbol of those who have reached a state of higher consciousness, free from the ego's grip. This isn't about literal salvation or a select group of people. It's about a state of being. The 144,000 represents the part of ourselves that has overcome the beast, the ego, and has embraced peace, clarity, and connection to something greater. Revelation, then, isn't a story of external monsters. It's a guide to conquering the internal ones. In Revelation, there's a mysterious mention of two witnesses, and many interpretations have emerged over the centuries about who or what they might represent. Some see them as historical figures, others as symbolic prophecies. But what if these witnesses aren't external figures at all? What if instead they represent something within us, the pineal and pituitary glands, our body's spiritual command centers, connecting us to realms beyond ordinary perception? Imagine these two witnesses as guardians within us, often neglected or misunderstood. The pineal gland, sometimes referred to as the third eye, is a tiny but powerful structure in the brain that ancient cultures believed connected us to higher consciousness. And then there's the pituitary gland, known as the master gland for its role in regulating hormones that influence our body and mind. Together, these glands act as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, between the mundane and the mystical. When Revelation speaks of these witnesses, think of it as a call to awaken this interconnection. These glands are like antennae tuned to higher frequencies. When we engage in practices like meditation, we quiet the mind, allowing the pineal and pituitary to activate. It's like tuning into a station of truth and clarity that's always been there, but often drowned out by the noise of everyday life. Meditation isn't just relaxation. It's a way to access a deeper level of consciousness, a level where the two witnesses reveal the hidden wisdom within us. Seeing these glands as the two witnesses brings new meaning to Revelation. Instead of searching outside ourselves for signs and miracles, we realize that we carry these spiritual tools within us. Through inner work, through meditation and self-reflection, we can awaken these witnesses, allowing them to guide us toward enlightenment. Revelation, then, becomes less a story of the apocalypse and more a guide to spiritual awakening, showing us how to tap into our own divine potential. So, how do we begin to activate these witnesses and access this hidden knowledge within us? The answer is meditation. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a bustling city, surrounded by noise. That noise is like the ego, constantly feeding you thoughts, worries, and fears. Meditation, in this scenario, is like finding a quiet, peaceful garden in the heart of the city. It's a practice of silencing the external chaos, allowing you to hear the subtler, wiser voice within. Meditation isn't just about relaxation. It's about connecting with that deeper part of yourself. Modern science supports what ancient wisdom has long known. Meditation can actually change the brain. Studies have shown that regular meditation reshapes brain patterns, fostering calm, focus, and empathy. It's like training your mind to go beyond the noise, beyond the ego's grip, allowing your higher consciousness to take the lead. Each time you meditate, you're engaging in a quiet but profound battle with the ego, giving space for your true self to emerge. This quiet space within you, accessed through meditation, is where the pineal and pituitary glands, the two witnesses, begin to activate. When the mind is still, these glands function as gateways to a higher realm of awareness, one that's not concerned with daily worries or fears. It's a space where clarity, peace, and intuition flourish, where you gain insights not accessible in the busyness of daily life. Meditation becomes a tool, a daily practice that helps you silence the ego, let go of limiting beliefs, and step into a state of expanded consciousness. Imagine it as an inner journey, a return to a space that's always been within you, but has been clouded over by the distractions of life. Revelation, with its hidden wisdom, comes alive in the quietude of meditation, showing you that the apocalypse isn't the end of the world, but the end of the noise, the ego, the fears allowing the dawn of a higher consciousness within you. Let's dive into a concept that many find fascinating and mysterious: numerology. Revelation is filled with numbers, not by accident, but because each number holds hidden meanings, keys to a deeper understanding of life and consciousness. These numbers are more than just figures. They're like fingerprints left behind by ancient wisdom, symbols pointing to universal truths that are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. Take the number 9, for example, often called the number of consciousness. Why consciousness? Imagine the number 9 as a cycle, like the phases of the moon, the growth of a seed into a plant, or the stages of a personal journey from ignorance to understanding. 9 is often associated with a complete cycle of growth and reflection, a culmination of learning before a new journey begins. It's not just a number, it's a mirror, reflecting the process of inner transformation. In Revelation, references to periods like 1,260 days and 42 months always add up to 9. This isn't a coincidence, but a reminder of the cycles we go through on our spiritual journey, inviting us to continually grow, learn, and seek higher understanding. Then there's the number 7, known as the number of divine intervention. Think about the story of Jericho in the Bible, 7 laps around the city's walls before they fell. It's not just a tale of military victory, but a metaphor for the cycles of challenges and breakthroughs we face in life. 7 symbolizes those moments when the universe steps in, when something greater than us alters our course, pushing us closer to truth and enlightenment. Just when we think we're at our breaking point, that's when the power of 7 intervenes, reshaping our lives in profound ways. And, of course, we can't ignore 666, the so-called number of the beast. But what if, instead of fearing it, we saw it as a symbol of our carnal mind, the ego that ties us down with fear, doubt, and negativity? It's a reminder of our lower self, the part of us that must be understood and overcome on the journey to enlightenment. When we stop seeing 666 as a curse and start seeing it as a reflection of the ego, we understand that this battle isn't external, but internal, a personal quest to transcend our limitations. In this way, numerology within Revelation isn't just about prophecy. It's a guide showing us that each number represents a step in our journey to higher consciousness. The more we learn to see these numbers symbolically, the more we understand that every challenge, every triumph, every moment of growth in our lives is part of a cosmic design leading us toward inner peace and spiritual transformation. When we hear the word tithing, many of us think of giving money, but in a spiritual sense, tithing can mean something far more powerful and personal. What if true tithing was about giving away a part of our ego, the part of us that's always trying to control, to calculate, to grasp? Imagine it like this. Our ego is like a clenched fist, holding tight to fears, doubts, and insecurities. Spiritual tithing, then, is about letting go, unclenching that fist, and making space for something greater, our higher consciousness. Consider this. What if the 10% tithe isn't just a material donation, but a giving up of the ego-driven part of ourselves? By surrendering that 10%, we make room for the 90% of our mind, the intuitive, divine part of us, to flourish. This kind of tithing doesn't deplete us. It actually makes us richer, spiritually, filling us with peace, clarity, and connection to our higher self. When we release the ego, we're not losing. We're gaining access to deeper wisdom, to insights that come from beyond our logical, everyday mind. This practice of giving away the ego is what ancient traditions call spiritual tithing. It's a daily act, not just a one-time event. It's like cleaning out a garden, pulling up weeds so the flowers can grow. Each time we meditate, each time we silence the ego's grip, we're tithing. We're offering up our fears, our doubts, and making room for our true self, the part of us connected to something eternal and unbreakable. Revelation speaks of tithing as a means to peace, not because it's about giving up worldly possessions, but because it's about freeing ourselves from what really holds us back. Imagine what happens when we live like this, releasing the ego daily. We become like open channels, able to receive guidance, insights, and even inspiration from the universe. This is the power of spiritual tithing, a practice that goes beyond giving and opens us to receiving the highest form of wealth, inner peace, and alignment with our purpose. Revelation calls us to let go, to give the ego away, and in doing so, to discover a source of power that's always been within us. One of the most fascinating parts of the human body, and one that ancient texts have often referenced, is the pineal gland. This tiny pine cone-shaped gland located in the center of the brain has been called the third eye for centuries, seen as a portal to higher realms of awareness and understanding. Modern science has begun to explore its functions, discovering that it plays a vital role in regulating sleep cycles and possibly even altered states of perception. But to the ancients, this gland was more than just a biological structure. It was a gateway to higher consciousness. Imagine the pineal gland as an antenna, one that's tuned to receive signals not from the physical world, but from the spiritual realm. When we quiet the mind, when we meditate, it's as if we're tuning this antenna, allowing us to access insights, wisdom, and perspectives beyond our everyday awareness. This is why practices like meditation and mindfulness are so powerful. They help us activate the pineal gland, allowing us to see beyond the surface of life, to understand truths that lie just beneath. In Revelation, the pineal gland is represented symbolically by the concept of the third eye or inner light. When activated, it's like turning on a flashlight in a dark room, revealing what was hidden. This isn't just mystical talk. It's a real experience that many people report after regular meditation. The pineal gland, when stimulated, allows us to perceive life from a place of clarity and peace, as if we're no longer looking through the fog of fear, doubt, or ego. But here's the most empowering part. This isn't something only a select few can experience. The pineal gland is within each of us, just waiting to be activated. Revelation hints at this power, showing us that our journey to higher consciousness doesn't rely on external sources. It's a path that leads inward, to the hidden eye within us, which can guide us through life with a sense of purpose and calm that's rare in today's world. The book of Revelation, then, becomes a guidebook for activating this spiritual eye, teaching us how to go beyond surface understanding and connect to a deeper wisdom. Each of us carries this tool within us, waiting to be used. And as we journey inward, as we begin to see through this third eye, we find that life isn't divided between fear and hope, but becomes a harmonious whole, a path of enlightenment and self-discovery.